Hello friends, and welcome to another daily creative challenge in Illustrator. My name is Julia Masalska and I'm your host for the past week and for this week. And together we've been working on a poster series, which was super fun, and I saw you guys have submitted some amazing work into the Discord channel. Thank you for that, and I'm hoping you have learned a bunch of new tools already and have experimented some more with mixing them. So I'm really excited to introduce you to the today's challenge. But first of all, I would like to mention that I have a resource list that is really nice, where you can help the Black community. If you go onto my Instagram at Julia Masalska, this is where you can find it in my links. It's a really helpful list that you can definitely use and to help amplify the Black community voices. So thanks everyone for joining in the chat. We have Kaylee, we have Sherry, Wade, Joy, so many people, and Tuncha saying ju 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 ju. Super cool. All right, I see you guys are in a good mood and I really love it. And today we're going to work with one of my very favorite tools, and it's the blend tool. So let's quickly take a look at our challenge page, and I would like to kind of let's see where my challenge page is here. Okay, right here. Okay, so let's jump onto my work screen, and here's our daily creative challenge page. If you go onto behance.net/challenge/illustrator, here is where you can find all the information necessary to participate in the daily creative challenge. Here you'll find a link to our community chat, which is our Discord channel. And another link is also right here in case that link from the website does not work for you for some reason. So it's bit.ly/AI Discord. And this is where you can submit your daily creative challenges and look at others' challenges. And of course, feel free to use the hashtag AI Daily Challenge. So my friends, we have gone through a lot of challenges together. We are now on challenge number 8. So we went through 7 different challenges, and today's challenge is all about shapes. It's using the blend tool to create and combine graphic elements for a poster. So I'm really excited about that. Everybody who has been here before knows that I am super obsessed with the blend tool, and we're going to jump into this right away. But before that, I would like to mention that above the chat window, you will find the challenge tab. This is where you can find the starter file link. It's a file that I have provided for you guys to basically start from, and it looks like this. It's an Illustrator file that you can just download for free. You can use it. You can also use it as a poster mockup. Feel free to do whatever you like and create something interesting with it. All right, so as you can see, I've already kind of inserted a lot of elements in here, and here is the hashtag that we're using on all of our social media platforms to submit the daily creative challenge, and it's AI Daily Challenge. So if you post your poster on Instagram or on Behance, and feel free to create a project with all of your poster designs on Behance as well, this is where I use the hashtag AI Daily Challenge. All right, so we have here a bunch of objects already. We have a couple gradients in here that you can feel free to modify by just clicking at them, and then you can click edit gradient, and then you can feel free to modify the gradients inside the poster, and by double clicking you can change the color even in here. And of course you can also change the opacity, play around, just feel free to do whatever you like with it. Be your own Bob Ross, as I always say. Okay, so now here you'll have a little field where you can fill in my name. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to push, I believe these are grouped. So I'm going to ungroup this, Command Shift and G. And now I am going to push away the little copyright sign. And I'm going to write my last name, Masalska. And my first name is Julia. By the way, this is also my Instagram handle, so it's probably a little bit difficult for you to remember, but this is when you visualize it, you probably remember it better. Okay, and here also we have a bunch of elements. Feel free to kind of change the color, do whatever you like with them. I don't know. Just feel free to experiment. And also feel free to use the colors inside the gradient. There's also some great colors from here. And let's add our project name and description. So today is all about shapes. and create experimental shapes. Shapes with the blend tool. The blend tool is my absolute favorite, and we're going to have lots of fun with it today. Create experimental shapes with the blend tool. Okay, super cool. I usually make a lot of mistakes when I'm writing this fast, so bear with me. Okay, so now what I want to do is, I already have a blend here inside here. Feel free to modify that one as well. So basically what a blend does is it creates a bunch of steps between two objects. So as you can see, we have this line here, right? One line, and we have a second line. And the blend tool helped us create all of these steps in between. So what I did here is I selected these two lines, and then I have clicked Object, Blend, and Make. So this is how I got to this object here. And now you can go in by double clicking on one of the objects, and you can even, modify them, and then all the steps will be adjusting accordingly. So that's also really cool to play with. Feel free to, do whatever you like with this, with these shapes. All right, for now, I want to lock some of the objects. So I just want to lock everything in the background that I'm not going to be modifying right now, just so I don't mess up anything. So I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to deselect these two objects because we will need those a little bit later. All right, and I'm going to click Command and 2, and this is how I have already kind of locked all the objects except for these two almost circles. All right, so now let's jump right into it, and we're going to create some, let's put these by side for now. And what I want to do is, by the way, they are already set to a transparency, and that means that whenever I create something, let's say I have an R, a letter, and I want to outline it, Command Shift and O, and I want to resize it, let's say like that. And now if you change this to white, this shape will basically translate the color, the opposite of the color of the R. So let's say we want to make the R blue. And now we put the little circle. The most important thing is to put it on top. So I'm going to arrange it, bring to front. And now this circle basically creates a divide between the colors. So it creates the opposite of the color. Let's see how you can achieve this effect. So you can go on to Window, Transparency, and here we have set it to difference. So there's different blending modes that you can experiment with. There is lights, there is soft light, overlay, color burn. It's all very interesting to experiment with, but for now we're going to use the difference, to kind of create something interesting from our poster. How are you all doing in the chat? Aditi, good to see you. Cool. Aditi's here, Carol is here, Joy's here. Awesome. So many people. All right, let's move this by side. Maybe we'll use it later. Who knows? For now, let's experiment with the blend tool, and let's, as I usually do, I just, sometimes I just use the pencil tool and draw some random blobs or lines, or you know me. So I'm just going to go ahead and create some random lines, and the important thing here is, just so your lines come out really nice and smooth, is that I'm always setting my tool options to smooth. So so that's something I really like doing. Let's see here. So if we click the pencil tool on the right side in the properties panel, we will find the tool options, and this is where we can adjust the fidelity. Do you want it to have accurate? Do you want Illustrator just take whatever you draw, or do you want to have it smoothed by Illustrator, and Illustrator will help you to create this perfect shape without any corners and any imperfections. So I like to put it on smooth for this, so I'm gonna click OK. And I'm going to create even more lines, because why not? I'm just going to create another line that kind of goes a little bit differently. Let's go a little bit back. And the good thing is that we have Control Z, so Control Z always helps us, you know, if we made something or created something that we don't like, we can always press Control Z and the mistake will be gone, which is not happening in real life, unfortunately. But so what I want to do now is I want to, you know, give these lines different colors, because I want to create color transitions and in these lines, and I want to create some amazing, interesting interactions with the colors and with the shape. So here I can, if I double click on the color of the outline, I want to create, let's say I want to pick a red, maybe like a red, something like that. All right, so now as you can see, I have one red line and one blue line, and I will do the other line also red, just because I want to kind of have a little flow in it and I want to have some repetition. But you know what? You can also change the colors afterwards, after you've been playing around with the blend tool. So now what I want to do is I want to select all of these 3 lines. It can be literally anything. It can be circles. It can be any kind of object. I can even select my R and make something really crazy. We can try that in a bit. But first I want to show you this so you guys get an idea. So I've selected all 3 lines and I'm clicking Object, Blend, Make. So now we already have something really cool going on here. We have something, you know, some waves and all that. But I want to make it even more interesting, and I want to blend them even better together, and I want to create more steps and better flow between the colors. So I'm clicking here on the right side. By the way, if you don't have the properties panel popping up here, you can activate it if you go into Window and click the properties panel. The properties panel always shows you only the tools that you need to modify the object that you have selected. So right now I have selected a blend, and Illustrator knows I have selected a blend, so maybe I want to go into blend options and edit the blend. So what I want to do here, I want to create way more steps. So here the most important thing is go into specified steps or specified distance, and then I'm going to pick 200 on specified steps. And as you can see, the flow between the colors is already way better. So now I can even go in and I can change the colors. So I can say, oh, the other red the other red outline that I've selected, I want to make it back to blue, or I want to experiment with it. I want to see what it will change. So I'm going to make it purple. And let's see what it changes. I think it creates way more dimensionality in here, and I think it works way better. And plus purple and is a mix between blue and red, so that works perfectly with us. And as you can see, this blend can already look very three-dimensional, and we can feel free to play around with this. Let me actually set these colors here in the gradient also to similar colors. So what I want to do is, since I have locked these objects, I want to click Command Shift Command Option and 2, and I have unlocked my objects again. So now I'm going into my gradient, and I'm going to edit my gradient right here. So sometimes it doesn't show the options for the gradient because you have selected an outline, and my outline does not have any color filled. So Illustrator doesn't know that I want to edit the gradient. But now, since I have the gradient selected, I can edit the gradient. And now I can go ahead and go in and double click, and now I can select similar colors that I have in my artwork. Feel free to also use the color picker. You can do that, but I'm just going to select them manually. Okay, back to edit gradient. Okay, and let's see what we can do here. Let it go a little bit more into purple, like that. And this one we just want to remove. So I'm just gonna pull it out from my gradient, and Illustrator knows, okay, she probably doesn't like it inside, so maybe I should remove it. Okay, let me make this a little bit more pinkish. All right, so we have our gradient already matched to our artwork a little bit. And now I just want to replace the other one because I want them to be, working together. And I just want to remove this one, and I'm going to hold Option and click and drag this one down. And I'm just going to turn it around and make it, so it does not look very symmetrical because we have a lot of unsymmetrical, very natural things happening here. All right, so we have this shape, and now let's play with our letter here. By the way, you can feel free to write whatever you want, and I'm just going to write red because it works so well right now. So I'm just going to do another E, and I'm going to make another D, and I'm going to take those two and outline by clicking Command Shift and O. So now I have these two letters here as well. So I'm going to distribute them in a similar way, and I'm going to make them the same color as the R as well. I can also make them red if I wanted to, but you know, that would be boring if red would be just red, so why not make the red blue? And now I can also do something interesting here. So since I already have these transparencies all set, I can just use the eyedropper tool, and selecting the E, I'm just going to select this color inside the eyedropper, and it already applies this effect to my E, right? So I have a transparency inside my E that makes this part now look really interesting, because it kind of, you know, it's translating the colors differently. So it's really cool. And who knows what colors are anyway, right? Okay, at this point I'm just talking weird things. Okay, yeah, Joy saying how cool, never really thought to use it that way. Chantal, okay, cool, it might be a different, oh, okay, Chantal is saying I use a lot of layers because then you are also able to use the layers in InDesign. Yeah, that's layers is a good thing to use, definitely. Okay, but let's make this, let's see what we can do with this. If we can make it the same color, blue, and then we will have, oh, okay, because it is blue, it's not really blue anymore. But what I can also do is I can bring it back to blue, and I can actually separate this. Let me actually see what I can do here. Okay, I'm wondering which lines are flowing here, so I'm just going to grab them and copy paste them. So I can cut my E into parts, and then I can, you know, apply the transparency only on the part that I want to apply. So I just basically copied the curve that goes along and crosses the E, and I'm selecting this curve that I've copied and the E, and I'm going on to divide in our pathfinder. So now I have the E divided in these parts, and I'm going to go in and only select these two parts that have been cut off, and I'm going to make them use the same transparency as this circle. So now you can see my E is still blue, but these two parts I have copied with the eyedropper the settings from this circle. Okay, so now let me be a little boring and make the D the same here. All right, and now I have something really interesting going on, although red does not really make sense, but well, you can write whatever you want. You can write something that makes sense. That will be actually awesome. And now I'm just going to take these, pull these in, make something interesting here, but make sure that your letters still have enough contrast to be recognized as letters, right? So my E right now is kind of on the edge of not being recognized as an E anymore. So be careful with that. And now I'm just going to pull in these objects, and this one I'm going to make a black. Oh, because I have a transparency on, it's not becoming black anymore, so it's just staying white. I'm just going to make it to remove the transparency here, and I'm just going to set it to normal, and now it's back to black. Awesome. And I'm going to set it to the front, arrange, bring to front. And now I have some interesting movement going on, right? In the poster, I have my letters, I have my shapes, and I have something really interesting, you know, that I can experiment with. And of course, you can go in here into the curves, and you can move them around. You can, you know, do whatever you like with them. You can even go into the direct select tool, and you can, you know, adjust the curves if there's some spaces that you don't really like. All right, so now we have our artwork kind of done, but let's see what else we can do with these shapes here. So I'm just going to copy paste the shape, and I'm going to make it way smaller, and I'm going to put it very close to the end of the other shape, and I'm going to select the bigger one as well. I'm going to reverse the color, so my black goes into the outline, and my opacity, my stroke, I'm going to set to 0.5 point. So now I'm going to select both of these objects and I'm going to create another blend. So I'm going to create a blend between lines that's not going to be that intense anymore, and I'm going to click blend make. So now we have, it looks like a shape, but really it's a lot of lines, and we can, in the blend options, we can set it back to a realistic number of, you know, blend elements. And now we have something like this going on, which makes it interesting and kind of repeats this shape, but not really. So now I can also play with the size here, and I definitely want this big blend and the E going into the front, so I'm going to arrange and bring to front. So now my lines kind of stay in the background because I don't want to call too much attention to them, but that means I can make them a little bit bigger. And so I don't like what is happening here. They kind of, there's a lot of competition between all these lines aligned very closely to each other. So I'm going to take this blend and I'm going to move it away. I'm going to arrange it a little bit differently to kind of put close to the D and see what else I can do with it. Maybe there's something fun I can do with it. And by the way, to make those look matching, I also have to be sure that I have a similar stroke width. So I'm going to go onto 0.5 like the other one, and I already have something cool going on here, right? So let's take a look at this again. Double click, and I want to make it a little bit more crazy here. I want to turn around and, you know, give it a little bit more movement. Wow, okay, so we can turn and turn. We can keep on turning. Let's see how many times we can turn. Okay, I think only 180 degrees at the max, otherwise it won't recognize it anymore. So feel free to play with this. And actually, you know what, I feel like on this side there is a lot going on, so let me try and push this one to the left side. It is kind of big. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Whoops. See, this is the reason why I was locking the objects, because you can randomly just, you know, pull any object and create something like that. All right, my friends, and this is going to be my poster for today. Let me actually make this a little bit more light. So I'm gonna go, since it's in the opposite side, so I'm just going to go and make it dark. And let me arrange it, bring to front, and so I can also bring some effect out of here. And if I make it lighter, it will apply the effect more, and if I make it darker, it will apply the effect less. So let's see how this looks over here. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna make it smaller. Okay, this should work. All right, so guys, let's go with this for now. I know it's not perfect, and I know you guys have more time to experiment with this, so so feel free to do that. Actually, I'm a perfectionist sometimes, so I want to make things look interesting. And okay, let's see, maybe this works. Okay, all right, my friends, so now that I have this artwork here ready, I want to export my file. So I want to go onto File, Export for Screens, and this is where I have the best options, you know, best settings to export for different kinds of screens. And since I want to share this artwork only with you guys on my Discord, on the Discord channel, that's the reason why I'm exporting it for screens. But if you want to export it for print, feel free to adjust the color settings here in File, Document Color Mode, and for print you will need CMYK color. And as you can see, it changes a lot, so we don't want to do that. Share it with us on Discord. And so I'm going to export this artboard, and I probably already have an artboard named like that, but that's no problem. Okay, and now I have my artwork already here and ready to go into the Discord channel. So again, the link to the Discord channel is right here, bit.ly/AI-discord. And now I'm getting onto this page. I see some awesome posters. Guys, feel free to use messages to support the voices of the Black community. And I see there is a lot of amazing posters. Do that, please. Okay, and here I'm going to be selecting my my artwork. See, I already also made a Black Lives Matter poster. So today I want to do something different. But Okay, so I'm going to name it my today's challenge, and I'm going to click upload, and this is where my artwork is already uploaded onto the Discord channel. So I'm looking forward to be reviewing yours, guys, and I see there's a lot of likes coming. Thanks so much, you guys are the best. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, so do we have any questions real quick? um okay, yeah, and by the way, stay tuned for the next stream. Lena and I are going to be working on a brand identity that we started working on yesterday. So it's going to be really exciting. We are going to be working on a brand identity for the toothless connoisseur. And yesterday, Lena and I have been working on the logo. We've prepared some brand guidelines, and today we're going to be using the brand guidelines to create assets for her website and for social media. So this is going to be really exciting and lots of fun. And of course, submit your daily creative challenge, because we are going to be reviewing it on the live stream in 90 minutes, I believe, 90 minutes into the stream. So please, guys, join us in a couple minutes, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye bye.